Hello, my name is Ziad Khouri, and I will speak to you in this segment about the Wim Hof method. I guess you're wondering, who is Wim Hof and what is the Wim Hof method? Wim Hof was born in Sittard, Limburg. He is commonly nicknamed the Iceman for his ability to withstand extreme coldness. He is a world record holder and an extraordinary adventurer. He holds 9 world records, including a world record for the longest ice bath. Wim broke a world record by staying for 1 hour, 13 minutes and 48 seconds immersed in ice at Guinness World Records 2008. He has mastered the ability to control his body temperature in extreme cold temperatures. Wim describes his ability to withstand extreme cold temperatures as being able to turn his own thermostat up by using his brain. Wim Hof has broken the ice endurance record by standing fully immersed in ice for 1 hour, 44 minutes in Tokyo, Japan in 2010. In February 2009, Wim reached the top of Mount Kilimanjaro in his shorts within 2 days. It took him only another 2 days to climb down. In 2009, Wim completed a full marathon, 42.195 kilometers above the polar circle in Finland, in temperatures close to minus 20 degrees Celsius. He achieved this feat dressed in nothing but shorts and sandals and finished in 5 hours 25 minutes. Wim believes in optimal health and wellness through love, strength, health, and happiness. As we continue through this segment on senior health beyond wellness, you will see and experience optimal health and wellness through love, strength, health, and happiness, and claim this as your destiny in life. This segment will consist of introducing the principles of the Wim Hof method, which will address breathing exercises, cold training, and developing a strong mindset, as well as concentration and staying on target with Wim. At the end of this segment, I will discuss an array of extraordinary benefits which occur in your body, life, and community as a result of the Wim Hof method. I want to inform you about current trends which are critical for starting this method on a regular basis for health, strength, happiness, and a peaceful well-being for you, your family, and the community. By 2050, adults over the age of 65 will make up 20% of the US population. The financial support for healthcare challenges will be great in the future, with little funding available for healthcare as well as preventive measures for disease and illnesses. Also, healthcare trends indicate that the aging population will place intense stress on our healthcare system, its funding sources, and American families. As you know, most of the population lack personal funding for long-term care, and a fragmented, institutionally dependent delivery system will pose significant risks to the health and quality of life for aging Americans. Our healthcare providers will need to rethink of ways to manage multiple chronic conditions which are existing among the elderly population. Addressing the needs of the elderly is a top priority of policymakers as well as community leaders at every level. Wim Hof has contributed to the health and wellness of the elderly by his methods of training, which produces physiological benefits to the body as a whole. His methods have incorporated the use of body and spirit in hard, natural environments, particularly under conditions of extreme cold. Under these circumstances, breathing and mindset enhance the ability to withstand such extreme temperatures. Through enhancing his resilience in the face of extreme conditions using these techniques, Wim has been able to constantly explore his own physiology and mental capacity in greater detail. In doing so, he has continually developed and perfected his method over the years, constantly increasing his goals and providing more information for producing a higher quality of life. Let's think. Love, strength, health, and happiness. Deep into our hearts, soul, mind, and body for a better quality of life. At this point in our life journey, we deserve the best, and Wim has made it possible for us to live abundantly on earth and experience the fullest and highest quality of health that life has to offer. Now that you're familiar with Wim Hof and his methods, let's go a little further and take a look at the basic principles of the Wim Hof method. The Wim Hof method consists of three basic components: breathing exercises, cold training, and a strong mindset and concentration. During this segment, I will discuss these components as they relate to the physiological effects on the body. Also, we will take a look at the effects on the body if they are used in combination with each other. I must tell you that the benefits for the elderly are great and provide a greater positive effect on the health of the elderly if used in combination together. The focus of this program is to teach you the methods, help you understand the science behind the Wim Hof methods, and encourage you to share these techniques to improve their quality of life. Breathing exercises. Now, we're going to take a look at the breathing exercises mentioned earlier. The benefits of the breathing exercises are achieving a relaxed state, getting more energy, sleeping better and deeper at night, reducing or eliminating headaches, reducing back and neck pain, and reducing in intestinal problems. Many people breathe too fast and too shallow. They breathe between 13 to 20 times a minute even when they're resting or sitting quietly. Breathing 6 to 10 times a minute is enough while resting. A fast breathing rate makes people tired and fatigued and can cause health problems. The Wim Hof method is one of the methods that teaches people how to breathe correctly. Besides controlling the levels of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood, breathing is also connected with the heart rate and the heart rate variability, which is the variation in time between two consecutive heartbeats. According to the French psychiatrist David Servan-Schreiber, it's important for the intervals between heartbeats to vary. People suffering from depression, stress, cancer, or who are in the final stages of their life all have low heart rate variability. Dr. Servan-Schreiber showed that lower breathing rates increase the heart rate variability, especially if they are below 10 beats a minute. Higher heart rate variability indicates the proper functioning of the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems. The sympathetic nervous system is connected to the action and will take over during the fight or flight mode when real or perceived danger is present. The parasympathetic nervous system controls everything that is connected to recovery, like a slow heart rate, slow breathing rate, and good blood circulation, especially to the skin, and an active digestive system. Breathing exercises can activate the parasympathetic system, especially focused breathing like that used in the Wim Hof method. That type of breathing is a very good way to increase the heart rate variability. Incorrect or rapid breathing contributes to a wide range of health problems. Our accessory respiratory muscles in the neck become fatigued and start to hurt. Slowing down the breathing rate will cause the pain to go away. Rapid breathing will cause the body to produce too much cortisol that in the longer run will make us feel agitated and restless. Rapid breathing can disrupt the correct balance between the oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood that will affect the intestines and result in increased bloating, belching, and flatulence. Breathing too fast causes the body to use its glucose reserves too quickly, making us physically exhausted and fatigued, and it will result in craving sugar and sweet foods more often. Slower breathing can activate fat burning, that is the efficient way how the body utilizes its energy. Lower levels of carbon dioxide in the blood will cause the blood vessels to constrict, forcing the heart to pump more blood through the body, which can result in higher blood pressure and heart palpitations. A research study was conducted by Buteyko and indicated deep and fast breathing can cause a variety of health problems, including high blood pressure, asthma, allergies, panic attacks, chronic bronchitis, hay fever, sleeping problems, and headaches. This type of breathing is often seen in the elderly. Rapid breathing also indicates an elevated stress level, according to psychiatrist Bram Bakker. Patients with stress-related physiological problems have a high breathing rate. Anxiety disorders and depression, which are linked to rapid breathing, as well as chronic fatigue, burnout, fibromyalgia, and myalgia encephalomyelitis, according to S. van der Poel's studies. Her studies showed that breathing and relaxation exercises are highly effective in treating anxiety disorders. Although our breathing, blood pressure, and heart rate are controlled by the reptilian brain, which is the oldest type of brain that we have, they can be affected by the neocortex, that is the newest brain that is only present in humans. Our active life exposes us to many external stimuli that can overstimulate our neocortex, resulting in rapid breathing. On the other hand, we can use neocortex to slow it down by exercises. The Wim Hof method exercises contain an element of controlled superventilating and breath holding. Controlled superventilating causes the blood to accept and carry more oxygen. Subsequent breath holding results in an increased amount of carbon dioxide in the blood. To keep the correct balance, the body releases more oxygen in the mitochondria, that are little engines in our cells producing energy for the body. The body expels the waste substances quicker, and more oxygen penetrates deeper into a cell, and the parasympathetic system gets activated, resulting in relaxation. Breathing slower and deeper will cause the body to produce more energy, eliminating the feeling of getting tired and fatigued that many people experience in the afternoon. Increased mitochondrial activity in the brain will result in releasing chemicals into pituitary and pineal glands, which will increase our positive state of mind. Wim Hof method breathing exercises cause more oxygen to enter the pineal glands, resulting in the body producing more oxygen, reducing the symptoms of jet lag, poor sleep, and depression. Let's practice an exercise in breathing using the Wim Hof method, which is designed for the elderly. We have just seen Wim Hof demonstrate the breathing method for the elderly. Now let's review the instructions. Get comfortable. Sit down in a comfortable meditation position, whatever is most comfortable. Make sure you're able to expand your lungs freely without feeling restricted. It's recommended to practice right after waking, since you still have to break your fast then. Alternatively, do the exercise before a meal on an empty stomach if you don't have enough time in the morning. 20 power breaths. Pretend you're blowing up a balloon. Inhale through the nose or the mouth, and exhale through the mouth in short but powerful bursts. Keep a steady pace and fully use your midriff. Close your eyes and do this for 20 times. Some side effects could occur, lightheadedness, as well as tingling sensations in the body. The hold. Retention after exhalation. After the 20 breath cycle successions, draw the breath in and fill the lungs once more to maximum capacity without using any force. Then let all the air out and hold your breath for as long as you can without forcing yourself. Hold it until you experience a gasp reflex. Recovery breath. Inhale to full capacity. Feel your chest expanding. When you're at full capacity, hold your breath for approximately 10 to 15 seconds. This marks the end of round 1. This breathing exercise can be repeated 3 times in a row. After having completed the breathing exercise, take your time to enjoy the feeling afterwards. This feeling might resemble a meditative state. When you first start with the exercises, we recommend you take your time recovering. After having done the breathing exercise and you're feeling good, we will move on to the cold exposure exercise. Now, please pause the video and practice 2 sets. Welcome back. This segment of the Wim Hof method involves cold training. There are several benefits to get through the cold training. Some of them are improved blood circulation, a stronger heart and lower heart rate, stronger hair with a higher gloss, tighter and firmer skin, increased energy levels, improved mood and euphoric feeling, a stronger immune system, and improved self-confidence and well-being. What happens when the body gets exposed to cold? In normal conditions, a healthy body maintains a body temperature of 98 Fahrenheit plus or minus 1 Fahrenheit. The heart pumps blood evenly through the blood vessels to all parts of the body, supplying the tissues with nutrients and oxygen and removing the wastes and carbon dioxide. When our body gets exposed to cold, like going outside in winter without the proper clothing, taking a cold bath or shower, the body is protecting its core and reduces the blood flow to the extremities and other less vital parts of the body. It does so to protect the body's core temperature from falling below 95 Fahrenheit, as that would lead to hypothermia and eventually death. The vital organs like the liver, heart, kidneys, lungs get enough blood to stay warm and function properly, and the extremities like arms, legs, hands, toes, and ears are sacrificed and get less. When the body returns to regular conditions, it warms up. The blood vessels to the extremities open up and the circulation returns to normal conditions. If the body gets exposed to cold too long without proper training, a cold damage and eventually death can occur. The first sign of damage is the skin of the fingers or toes or other exposed areas will turn white, accompanied by a burning or tingling sensation. After a longer exposure, the exposed parts and extremities will become numb, and the skin might turn dark or sometimes black. Those are the signs of severe frostbite that eventually will lead to amputation of the damaged extremities. If the core temperature drops below 95 Fahrenheit, regular metabolic function starts slowing down. The heart slows down, the blood pressure and the breathing rate go down. Continuous exposure will lead to the loss of consciousness, and after half an hour in water to an hour, to death by hypothermia. However, if we train our body to resist the cold by exposing it to cold, like cold air in winter, cold showers, or cold baths, initially for a very short period of time, like half a minute to a minute, and continuously extending the periods of time being exposed to cold, we can train our body to become more and more resistant to cold for longer periods of time. Wim Hof can easily sit in a cold bath for over an hour and a half without a drop of his body temperature. Studies by Hopman showed that his metabolic rate increased by 300%, keeping his core temperature steady. He stays warm by controlling his autonomic nervous system with breathing exercises just before cold exposure. Due to his cold training, he developed larger deposits of brown fat that help him stay warm during the cold exposure. What is brown fat? Brown fat is completely different from white fat that is present in overweight and obese people and serves to keep the body warm during cold exposure by releasing energy directly to generate heat. It does so by burning fatty acids and glucose. Newborn babies have a lot of brown fat to keep them warm in a colder environment. However, the older they get, the less they have it, and after 9 months there is hardly anything left. Studies by Van Marken-Lichtenbelt indicated that the production of brown fat can be activated by cold exposure to temperatures below 64 Fahrenheit. The lower the temperature, the more brown fat will be produced. Wim Hof has larger deposits of brown fat due to his cold training that allows him to produce 35% more body heat during the cold exposure compared with the normal room temperatures. He can produce up to 2.5 times more body heat than young people, who can produce more body heat than older people. A cold training will change that. Overweight and obese people who have an excess of white fat, according to studies done by Colette, can change it to brown fat through the cold training and generate much more body heat. Besides increasing the resistance to cold, the cold training can also strengthen the immune system by increasing the production of white corpuscles, which are also called white blood cells. Their main function is to defend the body from foreign invaders, like bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, yeasts, etc. During an infection, the body produces more white corpuscles to fight it. Studies done by the Thrombosis Foundation showed that people who expose their bodies to cold, even by taking cold showers daily, have more white corpuscles than those who don't. The result is a stronger immune system. In summary, the cold training improves the blood circulation, strengthens the immune system, and increases the resistance to cold by increasing the amount of brown fat in the body. While it may not be safe for all elderly persons to take cold showers, the modified Wim Hof method, which we will discuss in a moment, will provide the same effects that activate the parasympathetic nervous system. As a result, the elderly will benefit greatly from this modification. Now, we will demonstrate the cold water exposure technique so that you will be able to safely and effectively use it with the elderly. Washcloth exercise. Take a washcloth and dip it in cold water. When wearing a t-shirt, you're able to wrap your arms with a cold washcloth. Consciously feel it, from your hands to your shoulder and back. Feel the cold until you don't feel it anymore. That's when you know your vascular adaptation is done. This is vascular conditioning, as well as your arms and the rest of your body. Amazing exercise. Once you've finished doing one arm, get to the other arm and have fun while doing it. Commitment and strong mindset. Concentration. The Wim Hof method requires you to encourage and assist the elderly in staying focused to experience the benefits of the program. A strong mindset will help the elderly to achieve the goals and realize your own inner strength. Concentration is an important part of this, and without it, we would not be able to conquer the effect of the cold. Our elderly have been able to conquer many challenges during their lifetime, and this is achievable for them as well as your encouragement. In the final segment for the elderly, we will be discussing creating a strong mindset and concentration along with seated yoga exercises for the elderly. Now, let's practice the following 4 chair yoga poses. We encourage you to participate in the following exercises as we explain them, as by doing them you will be better able to assist the elderly in performing them. For our first exercise, please begin by sitting in a chair with your spine very straight and your feet flat on the floor. Slowly inhale and arch your back while dropping your shoulders, which is known as the cow position. Slowly exhale while rounding your spine. Let your shoulders and head come forward in the cat position. Beginning pose. Cow stretch. Cat stretch. After completing your 5th chair cat-cow stretch, inhale and raise your right arm towards the ceiling with your palm facing in. Keep your feet flat on the floor. As you continue to reach upwards, let your shoulder blades slide down your back. Exhale slowly and lower your right arm. Inhale as you slowly raise your left arm toward the ceiling with your palm facing in. Exhale and slowly lower your left arm. Let your shoulder blades slide down your back. Continue with the chair forward pose. Chair raised hands. Inhale and raise both arms with your palms facing. Slowly exhale. Lower your arms and bend forward over your legs. Let your hands rest on the chair in front of you. Let your head hang. For more stretch, continue to bend forward until your hands rest on the floor. Let your head hang. Slowly inhale, return to a sitting position and raise your arms over your head again. Repeat the chair raised hands followed by the chair forward bend 5 times. After the 5th time, move on to the chair extended side angle pose. Chair extended side angle. Slowly inhale while raising your right arm towards the ceiling with your palm facing in. Point your fingertips to the ceiling. Slowly exhale and bend to the left. Don't overdo it, you should just feel a gentle stretch. Hold this pose, breathing slowly several times before exhaling and bringing your right arm down to your side. Repeat with your left arm. Slowly inhale while raising your left arm towards the ceiling with your palm facing in. Point your fingertips to the ceiling. Slowly exhale and bend to the right. Hold this pose, breathing slowly several times before exhaling and bringing your left arm down to your side. Slowly repeat 5 times, alternating arms. Remember to remind the elderly that these yoga exercises will increase flexibility and blood flow to optimize your mind-body connection. We want to encourage the elderly at every opportunity of the positive effects of the Wim Hof method, as this will encourage the elderly to become more positive and happier. Now that you have been introduced to the Wim Hof method, as well as the principles behind this great vehicle for producing love, strength, health, and happiness, they will be able to take charge of their lives by practicing these activities on a daily basis. As professionals, it is important for you to understand the physiological principles behind the Wim Hof method. Now, let's go deeper into how the Wim Hof method affects the body. The Wim Hof method can influence your immune and autonomic nervous system, resulting in higher resistance to bacteria and viruses. As we have learnt in this segment, practicing the Wim Hof method results in increased adrenaline levels, causing the level of anti-inflammatory protein IL-10 to go up and the levels of inflammatory proteins IL-6, IL-8 and TNF-alpha to go down. This was confirmed by studies done by pickers who discovered that Wim Hof could regulate those inflammatory proteins. Based on scientific studies, high levels of internal inflammation contribute to most brain diseases, including depression, dementia, autism, anxiety, schizophrenia, sociopathic behavior, and chronic diseases like heart problems, high blood pressure, Alzheimer's, atherosclerosis, obesity, Crohn's, and other gastrointestinal diseases, COPD, arthritis, rheumatism, asthma, type 1 and 2 diabetes, skin diseases, sleep disorders, and aging. Let's look at some of the diseases. Rheumatism is a name of a group of bone, muscles, and joint diseases that include rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, gout, fibromyalgia, and Behçet's disease, although the doctors use this name mostly to describe the rheumatoid arthritis, which is a disease of the joints. It's caused by inflammation of the joints and overactive immune system. By practicing the Wim Hof method, we can reduce the activity of the immune system and reduce the internal inflammation, resulting in the reduction of the disease symptoms. Controlling the overactive immune system and reducing the level of internal inflammation is very helpful in controlling the Crohn's disease, as the inflammation reduces the absorption of some nutrients in the intestines, leading to an excessive weight loss and nutrition deficiencies. Lack of nutrients can lead to fatigue and other health. Exposure to cold, combined with the breathing exercises, leads to strengthening the cardiovascular system, resulting in a lower heartbeat rate and lower blood pressure. It also helps reducing obesity. It results in generating more brown fat tissue and reducing the white fat tissue. Brown fat converts glucose and body fat, that's white fat, into body heat because it contains multiple mitochondria that are little engines present in the cells and uncoupling protein UPC1. White fat has hardly any mitochondria and no UPC1 and is unable to produce body heat directly from glucose and fat. Studies showed a direct link between obesity and elevated levels of internal inflammation. Thus, reducing the level of internal inflammation will aid in getting rid of excessive amounts of white body fat. Both exercises also help get rid of cold hands and feet, which is often called the Raynaud's syndrome. It's caused by the overreaction of the untrained body to cold. Continuous breathing and cold exercises help stabilize the correct ratio of oxygen to carbon dioxide in the blood. That should be around 3 to 2. Lower ratios of carbon dioxide in the blood cause the blood vessels in the extremities to contract, reducing the blood circulation there and resulting in cold hands and feet. Keeping the ratio at the right level helps eliminate that problem. Continuous exposure to cold results in producing elevated amounts of brown fat tissue, even in elderly people who usually don't have any brown fat tissue and have trouble handling cold compared with younger people and those trained by the Wim Hof method. High levels of internal inflammation can cause the inflammation of epithelium, which is the layer of cells lining the airways resulting in asthma. Reducing the inflammation will result in the reduction of asthma symptoms. Diabetes 1 has been linked to a malfunctioning immune system that accidentally destroys the insulin-producing cells. Controlling the immune system could result in a lower demand for external insulin. Diabetes 2 has been linked to obesity and elevated internal inflammation, as obese people are less sensitive to insulin and require higher amounts to control their blood sugar. Our body generates and uses energy all day, even when it's at rest. A healthy body burns fat at rest or at low level of activity. First, it uses fat stored in the muscles, and after it's used up, it uses fat from the subcutaneous fat reserves. High-level activities require the body to burn more energy, and the body switches to burning glucose. After the activity subsides, the fat level in the muscles is restored by getting the fat from the fat tissue. People suffering from chronic fatigue diseases like burnout, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and Pfeiffer's disease use the sugar reserves to generate energy even when at rest. They use energy as if they were constantly involved in a high-level activity. Even at rest, their bodies are still hard at work and get exhausted very quickly as their reserves are not being replenished quickly enough. They burn sugar even during sleep at night, and instead of feeling rested, they wake up feeling exhausted. The Wim Hof method, especially the cold exercises, cause the body to produce more brown fat tissue that burns fat from the white fat tissue and reduces the need to burn glucose reserves, even at rest, reducing the levels of fatigue. We are now at the end of the presentation. We can see that the Wim Hof method is very effective in generating more energy, especially from fat, and in reducing the overall levels of internal inflammation that is a major contributor to most chronic diseases, especially in older people. The elderly today are taking large amounts of excess medication, which is preventing them from living a happy, whole, and productive life. They deserve more than to be left alone, depressed and sick. We can and must make a major difference to improve the quality of life for our seniors, and the Wim Hof method will make this commitment a reality by using natural methods for controlling our bodily processes. Let's make a commitment today to work together to restore the elderly body to its more youthful state. It is every person's right to be happy, healthy, and strong, and our duty as professionals is to make this a reality. It is our responsibility to assist them in producing love, strength, health, and happiness, allowing their dreams to come true for them, their family, and community. Once again, this is Ziad Khouri, and thank you for watching Senior Health Beyond Wellness.